We packed up our camping gear and headed out of Winter Island Park, but we wanted to show you one more view of how beautiful this area of coastline is just north of Boston, outside of Salem. I think Winter Island was a good stop to start the trip, although it was a long drive that first day. Now we're up in this area with this very different landscape with the really rocky shoreline and the big tides. It's pretty neat. There's so much more to do in this area. We could do walking tours and the Witch Museum and all sorts of things. There's also a ferry that goes to Boston, which would have been great. We said if we had a second day here, we would probably do the ferry to Boston and go walk around and see all the historic stuff there. But we will definitely be back at some point for a longer stay. And hopefully next time with the dog and the Scamp, because if we did the waterfront camping with the Scamp, it would have been great. Windy, but maybe a little bit more private and not have kids running through a tent site. So now we're driving about 40 minutes north. We're making our way up to Maine today, and we're going to the Crane Hill Estate. And it's supposed to have really nice grounds, and it's right on the ocean.
So don't let the weight of the world slow you down. And if you search for the meaning of life, it won't be found. So take your insecurities and leave them all behind. Let's learn to make the most of our time.
Today we were making the drive from Massachusetts up into Maine, but we had all day to make that drive, so we decided to see what we could do on the way. This town was having a festival, but we decided to keep going up toward Castle Hill. One of the main draws of this area is actually the property that it is located on. This is a European-style mansion that was built in Massachusetts, and it really is an experience of being transported to Europe without having to cross an ocean. You feel like you are in another part of the world as soon as you walk onto these grounds. The Great House is a 59-room mansion that was built in 1929 to replace a smaller structure. This was really meant to be the centerpiece of this beautiful property. And the Crane family wanted to create a reserve around the property to make sure that it was preserved for future generations. And you can see the location is really special. The grounds here are used for many different purposes. You can host a party or a wedding here. They have all sorts of different private events. You can walk around the formal gardens. They have hiking trails. There's a beach that you can walk down to. So many different activities. You can go into the house and see the first floor. When we were there, the first floor was open, and you were able to walk around and do a little bit of a self-guided tour to see the original doors and some of the furniture and special wallpaper that they have. And if you have a little bit more time than we did, you might want to take one of these special guided tours where you go up to the second floor or even up to the roof, which sounded very neat because I'm sure the view from the top is quite spectacular. When we're traveling, we like to schedule activities that contrast each other. Considering that we slept on the ground last night and we're camping, going to a European mansion is quite a switch. Patrick was most excited to see this estate because it was actually used for a photo shoot for the show Downton Abbey. And yes, he is a fan of Downton Abbey. We left the mansion and went through the back formal garden area. And this is one of the things you have to do if you visit the estate. Walk all the way down this long lawn so that you get the view out over the marsh. One of the things I wish we knew ahead of time is that you are welcome to bring outside food and drink and a blanket and find a place to have a picnic. Those people brought wine. That's very clever.
Might be champagne.
Oh, even better.
Maybe.
This would be a great spot for a picnic.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going to be able to bring food in or not, but I think you can.
Yeah.
As you move away from the house, the views just seem to get better and better. Make sure you take the walk down to the end of the lawn. This is where you can see how special this piece of property is, the way that it overlooks the bay out toward the Atlantic Ocean. You can also keep an eye out for kayaking tours and hiking groups, so there's a ton of things to do here. We made our way back up toward the Great House, but then we took a side trail to explore some of the other formal gardens. There really are quite a lot of walking trails here. There's one that goes right down to the beach. I wish we brought lunch because we could have spent quite a bit more time here if we weren't on a rush to get to Maine. We wanted to go over to the other side of the gardens where they have the formal Italian garden and the rose garden. This area reminded us a lot of one of our other favorite places, Longwood Gardens. The combination of formal gardens, plants, flowers, architectural elements, and history makes it a very multi-dimensional visit. There's so many different things that you can soak in. As we were leaving the formal gardens, we looked over and we saw a couple coming into the gardens, and they were doing an elopement ceremony. We were so excited to see another couple doing a small private ceremony after we had just gotten married a couple days earlier. We spent some time sitting in the formal rose garden, and then it was back to the car because we had some more driving to do. We were heading a little bit farther north into Maine. And this was a part of the trip that we were both very excited about. Neither of us have been to Maine before, and we've heard such great things. We were also very excited about the accommodations that we had in Maine. I booked a 100-year-old knotty pine cabin that was right across the street from Lake Sebago. And this is an area that has a lot of things to do and a lot of things to see in the southern part of Maine. This area has been a vacation destination for a very long time. You can tell by all the little historic cabins and the bungalows that are right along the lake. This is a big area for boating and kayaking and fishing and all sorts of lake activities.
Your destination is on the left.
We're 8. 14, 12, 11. She said the light's on, so I think it's that one. It was the middle of June, and we didn't realize, but that's actually kind of the start of the season here in Maine. They were just starting to open the cabins. We were the first people to stay in this cabin this year, and most of the other cabins were still empty because it's still a little chilly here in June. Cool. And another one with Wi-Fi. I wasn't expecting that.
No, not at all.
Even when you're staying in a 100-year-old cabin, it is starting to get harder and harder to really disconnect from technology. But that also has some perks. When it was a little rainy, we were able to watch some videos and watch a movie. It smells like a cabin.
Yeah.
Like very... It smells exactly like you would expect a cabin to smell. Neat. So she said front bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It smells really good. Cute.
Legit.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
This is a Maine cabin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Sebago Lake cottages have been in the same family for 3 generations now. Oh good, there's lights. Since it was so early in the season, they didn't have the single cabins open yet, so they put us in the double. Oh, this is the back bedroom.
I'll open and see.
We could live in here.
Yeah. We have bathrooms though, hey.
After a couple nights of camping, anything with running water and lights feels like luxury. We get showers. Hopefully they're hot. We got stove, sink and everything.
Warmed up.
Man, look at the old fridge. Oh my gosh. Oh, the water got hot?
Yep.
Yes.
Got toaster.
It's like that avocado green color. That's so funny. Neat.
Where's my TV?
I'm surprised they have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I am shocked.
Not
And
much service right now.
no, I had good service before.
Yeah.
Well, you worried about you and me, the injustice, the next president to be, the news and what you hear, your career. It's time for you to face those fears, and it's all fair to be aware, and I'll be there. So don't be scared. Just take a deep breath of air. And 1, 2, 3 to 10, you begin to focus again, and though time flies, we'll have enough to realize this bigger than the both of us.